how do you make gunpowder if the world has ended? Imagine a world silenced, its once vibrant hum replaced by an eerie stillness. A world without power grids, without vast factories, without any reliable supply chains whatsoever. What do you do when the tools of modern life are just rusted relics, fading memories? And more importantly, why would you even need such a dangerous, potent compound when society itself has crumbled into dust? Think far beyond crude weaponry. Think raw, unyielding survival. Gunpowder translates directly into improvised traps, meticulously designed to secure your perimeter, or to hunt for dwindling food sources when absolute silence is your most potent weapon. It represents the reliable ignition for starting precious fire, quickly and consistently a fundamental commodity, when a simple box of matches is a rare, almost mythical find. It offers a tangible means to intimidate, to protect your meager resources, to create a necessary moment of profound chaos when all semblance of order has long since evaporated. The profound capability to craft this fundamental explosive from the very ground up truly provides an indispensable, unmatched advantage. Before we dive headfirst into the grimy yet utterly essential details of this ancient alchemical survival skill, pause for a moment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, joining the vital Bunker with a View community, because we are building a comprehensive library of hard-won knowledge here. This information is meticulously designed for those who prepare for the absolute worst and plan to not just survive, but to thrive. Also, take a moment to tell us in the comments section below, right now, where exactly you are watching this crucial broadcast from today. Your unique insights help us to genuinely understand the true global reach and diverse community of fellow survivors scattered across this fractured world. To begin your journey into post-apocalyptic ordnance, you will first need to gather your essential components. These are not found in stores, but scavenged from the remnants of the old world or created from primal elements. The success of your endeavor hinges entirely on the quality and purity of these raw materials. Each ingredient, from the blackest charcoal to the most humble urine, plays a distinct and irreplaceable role. Gather them with diligence and an understanding of their intrinsic properties. Making usable charcoal is simpler than you might at first imagine, especially when fallen trees are plentiful after any widespread collapse. Find some sturdy, dry wood, ideally hardwood if you can correctly identify it, as it tends to burn more evenly and produce denser charcoal. Stack your chosen wood in a well-dug pit, then carefully cover it with a layer of earth, ensuring you leave small controlled openings for air circulation. This careful arrangement is crucial for the slow, transformative burn you desire. The type of wood profoundly impacts your charcoal's quality. Ignite the wood, allowing it to smolder slowly and consistently effectively, choking off most of the oxygen to prevent it from simply turning into useless ash. This meticulously controlled, oxygen-starved burn slowly creates the carbon-rich charcoal you desperately need, ready for pulverizing into an incredibly fine black powder. Ensure the charcoal is absolutely completely cooled before you dare handle it, as residual heat can easily cause an uncontrolled flash fire, a deadly mistake in your isolated world. This dark, brittle, and incredibly porous material will form the significant bulk of your future explosive mixture. It is the fundamental fuel for the coming, destructive fire awaiting its spark. Prepare yourself for the part that demands both immense patience and a truly strong stomach: the creation of saltpeter from collected urine. You will need a sizable, non-corrosive container like a robust plastic jerry can or a sturdy, clean bucket specifically for collecting your raw liquid material. Store the collected urine outside, away from your living quarters for a minimum of 2 full weeks, allowing the natural pervasive bacteria to begin their essential transformative work. Biological decomposition process effectively converts the urea present in the urine into crucial nitrates, which are absolutely essential for our ultimate purpose. The longer the liquid sits, the more potent and nitrate-rich the solution eventually becomes, though 2 weeks represents the absolute minimum for any meaningful yield. This entire process is a grim, yet undeniable testament to nature's relentless recycling program, turning simple biological waste into an undeniably crucial, life-saving resource. The resulting smell will be formidable, a true test of your personal resolve and dedication, but the eventual payoff in explosive power is immense. Do not underestimate the power of such an unconventional ingredient. Survival often demands overcoming disgust. It is a necessary evil. Once your collected urine has aged sufficiently, allowing the bacterial alchemy to work its magic, the next critical step involves careful refinement. First, meticulously strain the liquid through a fine cloth, removing any unwanted solids or floating impurities. You are aiming for a relatively clear, though still yellowish, fluid at this specific stage of the operation. Next, patiently evaporate the vast majority of the water content, a time-consuming but absolutely necessary process to isolate the desired nitrates. Place the strained liquid in a wide, shallow pan over a very low heat source, ensuring gentle, consistent evaporation to preserve the compound's integrity, avoiding violent boiling that can degrade your precious nitrates. As the water slowly disappears into the atmosphere, a crystalline residue will steadily begin to form and accumulate at the bottom of your container, a clear, hopeful sign of your progress. This developing residue is crude saltpeter or potassium nitrate, your primary and most vital oxidizer. This initial yield, however, will not be perfectly pure and will undoubtedly contain various other salts and undesirable compounds. Handle this crude saltpeter with the utmost care. Its potential is immense, but its form is still raw. To truly refine this crude saltpeter further, elevating its quality and potency, you can undertake a crucial recrystallization process. First, dissolve the collected crystals in a minimal amount of very hot, clean water, ensuring they are fully submerged and dissolved. Then, allow the resulting solution to cool slowly and undisturbed, allowing the pure potassium nitrate to meticulously recrystallize out of the solution. As it cools, the purer saltpeter will often form cleaner, more defined crystals, simultaneously leaving many impurities behind in the remaining liquid. Carefully decant the still liquid solution, then collect and thoroughly dry these newly formed purer crystals. Repeat this entire recrystallization process if you earnestly desire an even higher grade of saltpeter, which will directly yield a significantly more powerful and reliable final product. Remember, purity directly correlates with the explosive power and stability of your gunpowder, a lesson often hard-learned in a world completely devoid of modern industrial factories. Impurities are dangerous. They create instability. Strive for the cleanest possible form. Scraping match heads for their precious sulfur content is a meticulous and incredibly painstaking task, yet it proves surprisingly effective for producing small, vital batches of powder. Standard friction matches, the common survival staple, contain a small but critical amount of sulfur within their red or other colored tips. Carefully scrape these tiny tips off, perhaps using a sharp knife or a razor blade, collecting the resulting powdery residue in a separate, completely dry, and secure container. You will undeniably need a significant number of matches, perhaps hundreds, if not thousands, to gather even a truly small but usable quantity of sulfur powder. This task is undeniably tedious, demanding immense patience and an incredibly steady hand. Sulfur is absolutely vital for igniting the final mixture, acting as the critical catalyst. Without it, your powder is inert, a mere collection of dust, and your desperate spark will simply fail to materialize. This precious yellow dust helps to significantly lower the ignition temperature of the entire mixture, ensuring a reliable and rapid boom when you need it most. Every speck of this rare yellow powder is crucial. Do not discard even the smallest amount you manage to gather. Finding sulfur in its raw elemental form, especially in a world devoid of any functional infrastructure, is a rare stroke of truly exceptional luck. It can occur naturally, though infrequently, near active volcanic vents or simmering hot springs, but accessing those locations is often incredibly perilous and fraught with danger. Old forgotten pharmacies from the pre-collapse era might have once stored it, or ancient dusty chemistry labs if you are incredibly fortunate enough to discover them still intact and untouched. These are long shots, but always worth keeping in mind during your scavenging. Never stop looking for new resources. Failing these incredibly rare finds, the match head scraping method remains your most practical, albeit highly labor-intensive, approach to securing this vital component. Regardless of your source, ensure you collect as much as you possibly can, as its role in the final explosive reaction is absolutely irreplaceable. This precious yellow powder is the catalyst, the igniter, the critical element ensuring your concoction truly ignites. Your gunpowder remains little more than an ineffective pile of carbon and saltpeter addued when you desperately need a bang. Your painstaking efforts will otherwise be in vain. Beyond the critical 3 main ingredients, you will need a few equally simple yet absolutely essential tools and a reliable source of clean water. A sturdy container for the eventual mixing, perhaps an old discarded metal bowl or a robust salvaged pot, will serve your purpose well. A heavy wooden pestle or even a smooth, dense rock will prove invaluable for mashing and thoroughly combining the paste. These simple implements are your industrial equipment in a world without factories. Scavenge them wisely. And of course, an ample source of clean, uncontaminated water, not just for your own survival, but crucially for the actual mixing process itself. This water is vital. It temporarily keeps the potentially volatile components stable during their delicate combination, preventing premature reactions. Too little water, and you risk a dangerous, uncontrolled explosion mid-mix. Too much, and your drying time will significantly extend, delaying your essential spark. Clean water is the unseen guardian of the mixing process, ensuring controlled creation. Do not compromise on its purity under any circumstances. Before attempting to combine anything, ensure all your individual components are thoroughly and absolutely dry and meticulously finely powdered. Grind your prepared charcoal into the finest possible dust, almost the consistency of flour, painstakingly using your pestle and mortar for consistency. Break down your recrystallized saltpeter crystals into an equally fine, ethereal powder, leaving no large granules whatsoever. The sulfur collected from the match heads should already be fine, but always check for any lingering clumps and crush them without fail. This uniform particle size is critical for the next stage. The smaller and more uniform the particles, the better, and more intimately they will mix together, and ultimately the more effective and potent the final product will unequivocally be. This meticulous and time-consuming preparation is not merely about achieving theoretical purity, but primarily about maximizing the surface area for the chemical reaction to occur swiftly and completely. Every tiny particle truly counts, contributing directly to the ultimate powerful burst of energy you seek. Do not skip this critical step under any circumstances. Your safety depends on it. Remember and imprint this deeply into your survival instincts. You are dealing with potentially volatile and undeniably dangerous substances. Never, under any circumstances, mix these components together while they are dry without strict control, and certainly never over an open flame or any significant heat source. This entire complex process demands unwavering caution, immense patience, and a healthy, reverent respect for the raw, destructive power you are painstakingly creating. Your very life and the precious lives of those around you could entirely depend on your meticulous adherence to these fundamental safety protocols. The consequences of carelessness are absolute. Do not rush any step, especially when it comes to the crucial stages of drying and mixing. The post-apocalyptic world is unforgiving of even the smallest mistakes, particularly those involving high explosives. Prepare your mind for absolute focus as carefully as you prepare your materials for transformation. Safety is not a mere suggestion. It is a primal, unyielding command in this desolate era. Respect the power you wield. With your charcoal meticulously prepared, your saltpeter carefully refined, and your sulfur painstakingly gathered along with your essential tools at hand, you have now successfully completed the first. You have transformed everyday refuse and natural processes into the raw, inert components of something truly extraordinary and potentially life-saving. This is the desperate spark, the initial arduous gathering that begins to breathe elemental life back into a dead and forgotten world. You are now standing on the precipice of true creation, ready to turn these individual inert elements into a unified, explosive force. Your determination has brought you this far. The long path from raw, humble materials to a controlled, powerful boom is still ahead of you. But the most challenging and dangerous scavenger hunt is now definitively complete. You have effectively begun to reclaim power, one unlikely, crucial ingredient at a time. The next chapter, titled The Alchemist's Fire, awaits your command. There, we will meticulously guide you through the precise mixing and drying process. Your journey has just begun, and the spark is about to ignite. You have diligently gathered your core ingredients. Charcoal, saltpeter, and sulfur now sit before you, inert yet brimming with potential. This next stage is where their individual powers will unite, forming a compound far greater than the sum of its parts. Approach this process with utmost respect and an unwavering focus on safety, as you are about to create something truly volatile. The alchemist's fire begins with careful combination, a delicate dance between raw materials. You will need to mix your finely powdered charcoal, saltpeter, and sulfur in very specific ratios to ensure an effective burn. The ideal time-tested ratio is typically 75 parts saltpeter, 15 parts charcoal, and 10 parts sulfur. Measure these proportions carefully by weight if you possess a makeshift scale, or by consistent volume if precise tools are unavailable, using small, identical containers. Combine these dry powders thoroughly in a non-sparking container, perhaps a wooden bowl, ensuring a uniform distribution before adding any liquid. This initial dry mix ensures all components are intimately acquainted. Always remember to mix these materials in a controlled environment, far away from any open flames, sparks, or sources of static electricity. Wear protective gear, if you have any, such as salvaged gloves and goggles, to shield yourself from any accidental premature ignition. Work slowly and methodically, never rushing the process, understanding that patience is your strongest shield against disaster. A moment of carelessness can cost you everything in this unforgiving world, so prioritize your safety above all else. Gradually add a small amount of clean water to your thoroughly mixed dry powder. The water acts as a critical binding agent, transforming the loose powder into a manageable paste. More importantly, it dramatically reduces the risk of an accidental static-induced explosion by dampening the reactive surfaces of the components. Add just enough water to create a thick, dough-like consistency, avoiding an overly wet or runny mixture, which would greatly prolong your drying time. This careful addition stabilizes the volatile compounds. Aim for a paste that is firm enough to hold its shape, but pliable enough to be worked and mashed without crumbling. Too dry, and it remains dangerously volatile. Too wet, and the drying process becomes an arduous, extended wait. You are seeking a perfect equilibrium, a state where the mixture is stable yet workable. This water-dampened state allows you to safely proceed to the next crucial phase of preparation. The correct consistency will dramatically impact the final product, ensuring both safety and efficacy. With the water added, begin to meticulously mash and knead the paste with your heavy wooden pestle or a sturdy, non-metallic tool. This intensive mashing process serves several vital functions, ensuring the charcoal, saltpeter, and sulfur are completely and utterly integrated at a microscopic level. It breaks down any remaining clumps, further compresses the mixture, and helps to evenly distribute the components throughout the paste. Continue mashing for at least 20 full minutes, or until the paste is uniformly dark and smooth, showing no streaks of individual ingredients. The thoroughness of this mashing directly dictates the quality and explosive efficiency of your final gunpowder. A well-integrated paste ensures that upon ignition, the reaction propagates rapidly and powerfully, delivering a consistent boom. Inadequate mixing leads to a weak, unreliable product, an utter failure when your life might depend on its efficacy. Every forceful mash, every consistent knead, contributes to the unified power you are striving to unleash. This is where the true alchemy happens, turning a mere mix into a potent compound. Once your paste is perfectly mashed and uniform, it is time to form it into small, usable granules. This granulation is absolutely critical, as loose powder burns too slowly and erratically to be truly effective. Press the paste firmly through a coarse sieve or a screen with small, consistent holes, perhaps salvaged from an old window screen. The resulting small pellets or granules will then fall onto a clean, flat surface, ready for the next crucial stage. This process ensures a rapid, controlled burn and enhances the explosive power. These small, consistent granules significantly increase the overall surface area of the mixture while allowing air to circulate between the particles. This combination promotes a much faster, more complete, and far more consistent burn rate, which is paramount for both projectile propulsion and effective explosive force. Without proper granulation, your homemade powder will be underwhelming at best and a dangerous misfire at worst. Uniform size equals uniform power, a simple yet powerful truth. Neglecting this step is a common mistake. Spread your newly formed granules evenly onto a clean, non-metallic surface. The correct consistency will dramatically impact the final product, ensuring both safety and efficacy. Such as a salvaged plastic sheet, a large piece of dry canvas, or even clean, flat rocks. Place this surface in a warm, dry area, completely shielded from direct sunlight and absolutely critically far, far away from any open flames or significant heat sources. Allow the granules to dry slowly and naturally, protected from dust and moisture. This meticulous drying process can take several days, depending on the humidity and temperature of your chosen location. Do not rush this vital stage. Resist the desperate urge to accelerate the drying process by exposing the granules to fire or intense heat. Doing so carries an extremely high risk of accidental, devastating detonation, a mistake you cannot afford to make in a world where medical help is non-existent. Let nature take its deliberate course, ensuring the moisture evaporates completely and safely. Impatience here leads directly to catastrophe, so exercise extreme restraint and allow ample time for thorough drying. Your life depends on this slow, careful evaporation. Once the granules are completely and utterly dry, hard to the touch and no longer moist or sticky, they are ready for storage and eventual use. They should feel brittle and snap easily, indicating all moisture has truly departed. Store your finished gunpowder in an airtight, non-metallic container, preferably in small, well-sealed batches to protect it from moisture and prevent accidental ignition from static electricity. Keep it in a cool, dry, and secure location, away from anything that could cause a spark. Proper storage ensures longevity and safety. To test the efficacy of your freshly made gunpowder, take a minuscule amount, perhaps a pinch, and place it on a non-flammable surface far away from anything combustible. Carefully and from a safe distance, apply a single spark to the powder. An effective batch will ignite almost instantly with a bright flash and a satisfying pop, leaving behind very little residue. If it smolders slowly or fails to ignite, revisit your ingredient purity or mixing technique, understanding that adjustments may be necessary. Test responsibly and always be prepared for the unexpected, maintaining a healthy distance. You have now mastered the ancient art of gunpowder creation, transforming mundane materials into raw, explosive power. No stores, no advanced tech, just your ingenuity, your resilience, and the timeless principles of science have guided your hands. This isn't just a recipe, it's a testament to human resourcefulness in the face of absolute desolation. You have forged a tool for survival, a spark of potential in a world of shadows, a true sign of your capability. This is the alchemist's triumph. The ability to craft gunpowder provides an indispensable advantage, opening doors to defense, hunting, and creating signals in a silent world. You've harnessed the elemental fire, taking control where chaos reigns. Continue to hone your skills because in the post-apocalypse, knowledge and self-sufficiency are your most powerful weapons. Remember, every challenge overcome makes you stronger, more prepared for whatever comes next, forging your path to survival. If this journey into post-apocalyptic craft has ignited a spark within you, if you crave more knowledge for navigating a world without rules, then subscribe to Bunker with a View. We delve into the critical skills and forgotten arts that will empower you to not just endure, but to genuinely rebuild and thrive. Share your own survival stories and insights in the comments below. Your contributions strengthen our entire community. Together, we master the art of survival. Stay safe, stay smart, and keep that spark alive. No tech, just science.